In this video, we're going to look at how to find the vertex of a quadratic function. That is the graph of a quadratic function, which is called a parabola. So typically, your quadratic function can have basically these two forms, other variations, but y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, or y is equal to a parentheses x minus h quantity squared plus k. And of course, it has to be understood here that the coefficient of the square term cannot be 0. Because if it's 0, then this square term cancels and all you've got is a straight line. Okay. So probably the easiest graph you could do would be that of a straight line, because all you need is 2 points or 1 point in the slope. Or if you know it's vertical or you know it's horizontal, you only need 1 point. Okay. For the parabola, the graphs are going to look like a U that opens up like this, or one that opens down like this. Okay. So they're easy to graph if you just want a rough sketch of the graph, because all you need is the vertex. So if the parabola opens down like this one, then the highest point here is the vertex. If it opens up, the lowest point, or the minimum value, or here's the maximum value, is right here. That's your vertex. Okay. So have a couple of formulas here that you can use. If the parabola is written in this particular form here, then the vertex is hk. Okay. Then you just plot that point, and basically the coefficient of the x squared, in this case this right here, or over here, it'll be this one right here, will tell you which way it opens. So if the a is positive, the graph opens up. If the coefficient of the square term is negative, the graph opens down. Okay, so in this case we're looking at a minimum value. Over here in this case we're looking at a maximum value. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's look at y equal x squared minus 4x plus 8. Now if I complete the square on this, I come up with this form. Okay, and you can see it comes out. So if I go ahead and square this out, I'll get x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then a 4 gives me the 8. Okay, so those are the two forms. So if I use this form right here, then this would tell me that the vertex, I just used b for vertex, is going to be, and here h is 2, and k is 4. So the vertex would be at 2, 4. And then we would plot that point. So we go 2 units this way, 4 units up, plot the vertex, and then the coefficient of the square term here is positive 1, over here is positive 1. It opens up. Okay, so the graph is going to go something like that. Now that's just a rough sketch, so if you want to be a little bit more accurate and find out how wide this thing is, you could plot some other points to the right of 2 or to the left of 2 and so on, and plot a few more points. But this just gives you a rough sketch of the graph. Okay, let's clear this. Now if the graph is in this form, then you don't want to rewrite it, complete the square and so forth. Then we look at the formula that tells me that the vertex is minus b over 2a. Okay, so this would be minus, and then in this case b is -4. Okay, so it's going to be minus a -4 over 2 times a. But a is 1 in this case. So negative negative gives me a +4 divided by 2 times 1 is 2. This gives me 2. Okay, so the first component of the vertex, doing it this way, of course, is also going to be 2. And then to get the second component, or the y value, I can either use this formula right here. Okay, it tells me it's going to be 4 times a is 1 minus, or I should say times c, so it's 4ac, c is 8, minus b squared, and b squared is -4. -4 squared, and that's going to be over 4 times a is 1. Okay, so what do we get here? 4 times 1 times 8, that's going to give us 32. And then this is going to be -4 squared is 16, and we have a minus on that, so it's -16. Okay, so 4 times 1 times -8. Oh, sorry, 4 times 1 times +8, 32. And then -4 squared is 16, so we have 32 minus 16 over 4 times 1, that's 4. So this gives me 32 minus 16 is 16 divided by 4, so this comes out to 4. Okay, so we get the point 24. Same thing we got using the other method. And then the parabola opens up from that point. Okay. Now keep in mind, because of the form here, if this had been a plus here, to put it in this particular form, then the h would be a -2. Okay. But either way, we get the same result. Okay. So again, also I have the second part right here. So this is probably a better way to do it. So minus b over 2a, if the parabola is in this form right here, or the general form right here, you get the first component of the vertex by going through this. Okay, and we got 2. And then this part right here, this setup here, tells me that you can get the second component of the vertex by just evaluating the function at 2. Okay, so that means go back to this over here, instead of using this right here, which has more parts to it, just plug in 2 right here. 2 squared is 4. Base the x by 2, that's -8. And +8. And the 8 and the -8 cancel out, and I get 4. Okay. Either way. Okay. So that's what you can do if you want to sketch the graph of a parabola, or the graph of a quadratic function whose graph is called a parabola. Find the vertex, and then the a tells you, the sign of the a tells you whether the graph opens up or down. Okay, if a is positive, it opens up like that. If a is negative, opens down. Okay, so that this had been a negative here, and the parabola will go down on this particular one. Now, I want you to keep in mind that you could have some that will, oops, you could have some where you can use either formula. For example, let's suppose I look at minus x squared plus 5. Okay. On this particular one right here, you can complete the square. That's what I did going from here to here. Okay. And then, of course, it's very easy to find the vertex if it's written in this format. This way, you have to go do a little bit more work. Okay. Now, if you got something like this, you should be able to recognize that as either form. Okay. Because if you look at it as this form right here, you can say, okay, the a is -1. So that tells me the graph opens down. There's no x term, so the b is 0. And the c is 5. And then you can just plug into either this one or this one. Okay, so if I used this right here, first form, then the b is 0. A is -1. Okay, so 0 divided by a non-zero number is going to be 0. And then if I use this setup right here, plug 0 right there, I get 5. Okay, so there's my vertex. 0, 5. Okay. Now I can also look at it in this form. Minus, okay, x squared can be written as x minus 0, quantity squared, plus 5. So now I have it in this form. Okay, where the a is -1, the h would be 0, the k would be 5. Okay, so either way, you look at this, the vertex is going to be at 0, 5. And because of the negative a here, the graph will open down. Okay, so if I were to plot this out, I go 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the graph would come down like this. Okay, just a short video here on graphing parabolas. Hope this helps you out, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.